Hi, Cleveland County. My name is Deborah Blanton. We're out here at a Patch of Heaven farm with Mr. Alan Hoyle. We're surrounded by sheep. So the breed that you have here are the Katahdin sheep. And do you want to talk about the benefits of this kind of sheep?
Well, number one, I say is the hardiness of the sheep. We have very few problems at lambing time.
Okay.
And they can have a lamb in ice and it'll be up and nursing in no time.
Wow.
When I had some wool sheep, we had to be a little more protective with them. They also very parasite resistance.
Okay.
We don't hardly ever worm or use maybe once a year. And occasionally you'll find one that needs maybe a little dose of dewormer, but pretty much they just take care of themselves. Of course, I worked on that over the years too. You know, you just can't.
Well, you kind of keep a parasite-free area, so yeah.
And rotational grazing is very good too, and that's one of the reasons when I move them from place to place on these other people's property, you know, we're not building up a worm population there and keeping them on there.
Correct.
So we're moving to somewhere else, you know, and it's cleaner ground.
Right.
And so we don't use any antibiotics, hormones, or nothing with the sheep.
That's good to know. That's good for the public.
We, basically we give one vaccination for the lambs, or the ewes before they lamb, and one after the lambs are born, and then about the time we wean them, we give them another vaccination, and that's sheep have what's called the overeating disease, and it's a C and D purifigens protects them from that. So we give them that along with tetanus, because we do dock some tails, even though we don't have to with the hair breed. We dock our females for hygiene purposes when the lambs is born, because I noticed one day a lamb was just all over an old nasty tail, and you know, and then also I can tell once the tails drop, I can walk out in the pasture and say, you know, that's a ewe lamb, she's got two ewe lambs.
Oh yeah.
So it's easy to detect like that also.
Yeah. Now also they must be sort of heat resistant, and
Very
this is really
so.
Hot area here in the summertime, and I would think with the wool sheep they just like really suffer. If
you have wool sheep, you pretty much need to shear them to go through the summertime. But these hair sheep, they do real well in these hot temperatures, you know, and we've had plenty of those in the last few years. But we just kind of enjoy working with the sheep, and we sell, believe it or not, and I'm not down in goats, but we sell a lot of breeding ewes to people that either have goats or had goats because of the parasite resistance more than anything else.
Okay. Well, and so our viewers and anybody else in Cleveland County can come down to the farmers market, am I correct? And buy the cuts of meat, or they can come out here on, and you're located on Highway 274, right out of Cherville, at Flay Road, right there at the intersection.
And if they can, they can call us, and we can bring it to the market if they, want to order.
Okay.
And pre-orders, we do that, and so my granddaughter kind of handles a Facebook page.
Oh, good. Okay.
I'm still in the old country, but she does that a little bit, and she gets a few contacts.
Sure.
She's 15, and she's very helpful.
Oh, well, that's great. Because word of mouth, and that's what we're doing here on camera, is word of mouth.
Right.
Well, listen, Alan, thank you so much.
Thank you for coming
out.
For
sharing all your wonderful livestock and all your beautiful dogs.
Well, thank you. And we also sell eggs and some beef. We don't raise a lot of steers, but we raise some steers. And everything we sell, we raise.
Okay.
It's not like we go buy a steer and private processed or anything like that. We raise everything we sell.
Well, stay tuned, Cleveland County. We're going to be talking with Nancy Abasiekong about the nutritional value of lamb. Stay tuned.
Here in Cleveland County, many children struggle to develop due to the lack of guidance and shortage of positive role models. At the Boys and Girls Club, we make it our team's mission to aid your child in becoming a better student and, more importantly, a better person with a brighter future.
When your child comes to the club, you can be assured they are being guided in a manner that is beneficial to the growth as an adult that is visible in their lives. Please consider giving your child the opportunity to be the absolute best they can possibly be.
Please support your local Boys and Girls Club today.
Well, I dropped out of high school because I was pregnant and I thought I knew everything. And now I realized I didn't. I wasn't comfortable mainly with me. And I decided to come back. I like the teachers, they're really nice. Well, I'm trying to get all my credits and it will probably take me 9 months to a year. But I'll get it.
The Learning Center, located on the campus of Cleveland Community College. Enroll now.
Welcome back, Cleveland County. We have just been out in the field on location with our sheep and our farmer. We're now in the studio with Nancy Abasiekong, who is the Director of Family and Consumer Sciences, our guru of products and nutritional value, how to preserve and how to cook. So, Nancy, tell us all about our wonderful lamb.
Well, lamb is not as commonly used or eaten in our area, but it's a very healthy, nutrient-dense, lean product, and it's good for, it has low fat. That is, of course, if we trim off any visible fat.
Yes.
Which, of course, our chef always recommends in order to have that flavor, not too gamey, then trim off the visible fat.
Yes, and I just learned that there's lanolin in the fat of the lamb, and that's what gives it the off flavor, and it doesn't smell so good when you're cooking it. So
right. So you do want to look for marbling, so some white flecks, which will be some fat within the meat, itself. But then you will trim off any of the visible fat before you cook it.
Good.
But lamb, as I've said, it's low in cholesterol, it's low in saturated fat, so it's a lean product. B12, high in B12, selenium, and other nutrients, zinc, some other nutrients that we would get from protein. So it's a very good protein source.
Good.
Now a serving is 3 ounces is a serving size, and that's about the size of a deck of cards or the palm of your hand.
Okay.
So again, we're talking about portion control with eating protein.
Well, and it just occurred to me, you can cook it so it's well done, or medium rare. Does the cooking temperature have anything to do with the nutrients?
It doesn't of the nutrients, but food safety wise, you will want to. We recommend using a food thermometer.
Oh, good.
And there are instant read digital types that are readily available, easy to use, and the internal temperature for rare would be at least 145 degrees Fahrenheit. But if it's a ground product, if you're using ground lamb, just like you would if you're doing ground beef or ground pork, then that temperature is 160.
Okay.
And when you're using your, we'll have some instructions and information, again, on our fact sheet that give you some information on how to safely use your food thermometer.
Okay, good. Good. All right, so we look for meat that's fresh, probably frozen with lamb. I know Mr. Hoyle has a whole freezer full of his frozen lamb.
Yes, often it will be frozen, but you want to look for, if it isn't frozen, then look for lamb that has a firm looking texture, reddish, pinkish red in color, not too deep red, which would indicate an older product. And again, that marbling throughout, a little bit of marbling, again, for that flavor enhancement.
And then you say you buy a frozen leg of lamb, and you want to cook it like the next day, or how would you recommend storing it to thaw it out?
You can thaw in the refrigerator, but even getting that home, if you are going to be shopping, if you're in the grocery store, then pick up your meat products and perishables at the end of your shopping trip.
What a
not
great
at the beginning.
tidbit, yes.
But if you're at the farmer's market, carry with you a cooler, an ice chest, and be ready to put that right in on ice so it will stay cold or frozen, especially in the summertime when in our warmer temperatures.
Yes.
Come prepared with your ice chest. But when you get it home, again, if you're in the store, place in a plastic bag so that you don't have your meat, which may drip some. You don't want that to drip on any of your vegetables or fruits or any other, even packaged products. So put it in a bag. When you get home, put it in the refrigerator, the lowest part or the coldest part of your refrigerator, in a tray or in a bowl or something like that. Again, if it drips, you want to catch those juices and not let it run down. Remember the dangers of cross-contamination. So when you are out now handling your meats, have a separate cutting board that you use only for raw meat. And you will still wash and sanitize them, but still have a separate one for your raw fruits and vegetables, breads and so forth, and then one for meats. And mark that or have it a way that you can tell, and others who are working in your kitchen can tell which is which.
Because, and this is not just true of lamb, it's true of any meat,
right,
correct?
That's right, any meat.
Okay.
One other thing to mention is that now, we used to think we needed to rinse our meats.
Yes.
We do not. It is not recommended that you rinse the meat. You can,
even chicken?
Even chicken.
Well,
that's right.
Okay.
Anything, any bacteria or anything that's on it will cook off.
Certainly, with
again,
high temperatures.
With the temperature, with the length of cooking time, and then again with your food thermometer, you are going to be sure that you've gotten to a safe temperature. And it's cooked, even if it's rare or medium rare or well or whatever the degree of doneness, you are at a safe point with using your thermometer.
Checking the thermometer. Well, that's great, Nancy. Well, thank you for all these helpful hints about not only lamb, which is delicious, which I love, but safety for handling meats and everything. So, thanks, Cleveland County, for watching. Stay tuned. We'll be in the kitchen cooking lamb with our chef, Tommy Green.
Few places are as active, as vital, or evolving as quickly as our schools, and that's especially true here in Cleveland County. I'm Rhonda Benfield, and I hope you'll join me for the next edition of School Matters. On each show, I talk with the teachers and administrators who make the Cleveland County system the success story it is. And we go beyond the headlines and discuss the issues facing education in the 21st century. Why? Because school matters.
Kids will spend 15 minutes watching online videos like this one.
Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Cleveland County, hello again. We are in Cooperative Extension's kitchen. I'm here with Chef Tommy Green. This is his 4th visit with us, and he's very flexible, and he loves lamb. As you're well aware, with A Piece of Heaven Farm and Mr. Alan Hoyle, we are cooking lamb right now, and I believe the piece that we're cooking today is the lamb
Loin chop.
the loin chop, and you say that that's more tender than the lamb chop
Yes.
would be. All right, so let's get at it, Tommy.
Okay, the first thing I do is make a marinade to put the meat in. And typically, you leave it in the marinade at room temperature for about an hour. Or you can put it in the refrigerator overnight and then take it out the next day and cook it on a grill.
Right.
Normally I use a charcoal grill outside. Of course, in here we can't do that, so I brought a panini press that I have that I can grill steaks or lamb or whatever on it.
Oh, good, good.
And the marinade has olive oil, red wine, garlic, rosemary, salt, and pepper. And the garlic, I smash it to peel it. Then I cut the top of it off where it's very hard, and also the very bottom of it. A lot of times you'll have a green tip on the bottom, and that's real bitter.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Okay, so you're kind of mincing it up.
Yes.
Okay. Good, good, good. Okay.
And I'll put that.
That goes in here.
Yes, I'll put
Okay.
that in a bowl.
All right. Good deal. Okay. All right. That's our
And
garlic.
then the rosemary, this is fresh rosemary. You strip it and then chop it.
Okay.
I already have some chopped.
Uh-huh.
And you use a tablespoon and a half of the chopped rosemary.
All right. That's good.
And then
Okay.
use 5 tablespoons of olive oil.
And this is your favorite oil?
Yes,
That's-
it is.
Okay, that's 1.
Now, this would be for 4 chops.
Oh, good. Yes, that's important. Or loin
chops.
Loin chops. Okay. Oh, and the olive oil smells so. When it mixes with that garlic. Oh, my
And then we
gracious.
put a 1/4 cup of red wine. I use Pinot Noir, and this particular one is Gallo Family. It's very inexpensive, but a very, very good wine.
And
Has
a good
flavor.
wine to cook with. If it's cheap, you can cook with it instead
Right.
of drink it.
And then a half teaspoon of salt
Okay, that's salt.
and a half teaspoon
Love your little.
of fresh ground pepper.
Oh, yes. Ooh, good, good, good. Okay.
And you mix that up.
All right.
And then
Now this is the important thing with lamb. Am I correct, Tommy?
yes,
Trimming the fat.
trimming all the fat that you can get off the lamb chop or loin chop, because the fat has lanolin in it, and that is the thing that gives lamb, if you don't remove it, gives it a bad flavor and also a bad odor.
Well, and we shouldn't say bad. It just is a different odor,
Yes,
which maybe some people wouldn't like.
right.
So it's okay to cook it with fat on it if you don't mind the smell that is a result of cooking the fat.
Right.
Okay?
Then you put it in a container and pour the marinade over it.
All right, here we go. Woo-hoo.
And you would leave it in the marinade at room temperature for an hour, or in the refrigerator overnight. Of course, we don't have time to do that. So
correct.
I'm going to go ahead and put it on the grill.
Correct, all right.
And then
And the grill is hot, and you've sprayed it with
yes, I've sprayed it with Pam.
Pam. Okay.
And you cook it for 4 minutes per side.
All right. And we're setting the timer here, and it's going to beep, beep, beep. Oh,
Right.
now you don't cover it. You don't put the top of
No.
the panini grill down. All right. Why are we not hearing it crackle and? Have we unplugged it?
It's not hot.
It's not hot. Well, it's okay, because things like this can happen, and we only have 10 minutes for this part of the show.
Right.
Tommy thought ahead, and he has already prepared our loin chops, 3 of
Right.
the 4. And he's also done a beautiful dish, if you can see that, with the different colored potatoes.
And what I do is I boil the potatoes for about 10 minutes in salted water.
Okay.
And then drain the water out, put 2 tablespoons of butter in the pot and melt it, and then
And roll them around
roll them
in the butter.
in the butter, and also then sprinkle them with herb de Provence. And
that herb de Provence is just a mixture of different kinds of herbs
Yes.
to give it the kind of rosemary leafy look, correct?
Right.
Okay, okay. And then, and that's it?
That's it.
Oh, that's it? Well, it's a beautiful meal. We'll get this cooking here off camera, because there are 4 of us here, so each one of us is going to get one of these. And with a little sprig of rosemary. This is perfect, Tommy. Thank you again for coming to the rescue, and we have enjoyed. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if there's still time, I eat lamb with mint jelly, but I did promise him that I would try my lamb without mint jelly first. He said, don't even use it, and I said, well, I enjoy it. Mint jelly with lamb is great. Thanks for watching.